Okay, guys, welcome to Let's Get to the Marks. I'm going through how to make a standard solution. You know, the one where you get a solid, you put it in some water in a volumetric flask. So we're going through that core practical for A-level chemistry. This one appears in OCR, AQA, and some of the other exam boards too. So why don't you grab some paper, grab a pen. You'll need a calculator for this one because you need to work out the mass of solid to add. So yeah, get all that stuff ready. Pause the video, have a go, and then unpause and watch the explanation. By the way, I am making some of my videos for members only, so you might want to join the membership. If not, you'll find some of those videos become available just a few weeks later. All right, let's get into it. Magnesium nitrate is used in fertilizers as a source of nitrogen. A student plans to prepare 250 centimeter cubed of a zero point 0.4 mole per decimeter solution of magnesium nitrate, starting from magnesium nitrate crystals MgNO3 .6H2O. Describe how the student would prepare the solution, giving full details of the quantities. So we need to do some maths there, the apparatus and the method. So as I say, pause the video, grab your pen and paper, calculator, have a go. All right, here's the explanation. So as we go through here, we can see the student needs 250 centimeter cube. That's a volume. So write your V there, label your numbers in chemistry, right on the paper. zero point 0.4 mole per decimeter solution. That's a concentration. So once you've got V and C, you know the coup, you're going to need to do N over CV, and that's going to give you the moles that we need in here. So once we have moles, we're going to work out the mass. So let's start off here. Don't forget that in chemistry, we don't like to use centimeter cube. We want to divide by 1,000. Let's convert our centimeters into decimeters, eh? So now that is our volume. And we need to multiply that by C, which is essentially zero point 0.4. And that is going to give us our moles of magnesium nitrate. And this is what we want to end up with. This is the exact conc we want. Smash that in the calculator. We basically want a zero point 0.1 mole. We need to get zero point 0.1 moles of magnesium nitrate. God, I'm waffling. Right. So starting from, this is important, magnesium nitrate crystals. Now, you could do it from magnesium nitrate. I'm going to do it from the magnesium nitrate crystal starting point. So now what I need to do is bust out my next triangle, which of course is mass over MR times moles. Well, we've just worked out the moles here, right? And we can do the MR from that. So let's do that next. And then we can work out the mass of solid that we need. And this is going to pick you up the first 2 marks. So what I'm going to do, magnesium is 24.3. Oh my good gosh, we need to add that to nitrogen plus 3 times 16 is 48 plus 14 for the nitrogen, 5862 times 2. I believe that's 124. You know, you can scream at me in the comments if I got that one wrong. So that's going to be 124 because we're going 2 times 48, which is 96, and 2 times 14, which is 28. 28 and that. Oh my days. Let me bust the calculator out. I'm trying to do this all in my head. You know what? Don't get cocky. Um, plus 14 plus 14 plus 48 plus 48. What have we got, Bob? Yeah, so that is 148. So this altogether is 148.3. So some people might want to do this from the magnesium nitrate. I'm not interested in that. I want to use the starting point of magnesium nitrate crystals. So I'm going to also add this to 6 times. I know water off by heart is 18. So we're going to add that to um, plus 6 times 18. Oh my good gosh, this gives me a total MR of 256.3. So that's our lovely jubbly MR. I need to times that by the moles. So we want to times zero point 0.1. And guess what? My mass needed, so the mass needed is 25.63 grams. So I need 25.63 grams. And I now need to write out the method. So you're going to take 25 point, oh, let's do it, right? Let's do it. Let's start the method here. We're going to weigh out, um, what are we weighing out? We're weighing out magnesium. What is it? Yeah, Jeez Louise, magnesium nitrate crystals. God, that took me a while. So we're going to weigh out the magnesium nitrate crystals. Mass needed is 25.63. What can I add to that? So this is my first point here. What can I add to that? Well, use the before and after method. So what I mean by that, you're going to weigh the weighing boat, you're going to weigh the weighing boat and the crystals, subtract to find out how much you've got, and then you're going to do that until you get 25.63 on there. So you and use a scale, measuring scale, weighing balance, or balance um, to at least two decimal places. Right. You've got to go to 2DP minimum, three significant figures. 2DP you've got to go to in A level. So I want to make that clear. We need a high resolution. So that would be my second point I'm making there. Then I want to say tip into a beaker. Again, before and after weighing method. I'm not going to repeat that. So tip into a beaker and dissolve with distilled water and stir with a glass rod. So what you're essentially doing now is you're mashing this into a beaker, your crystals, you're going to stir it with a glass rod, right? You're stirring that away until that dissolves. So I should say until it all dissolves. Now we might have used, who knows, 100 centimeter cubed of water, whatever. You can give a number if you want. So what do you do next? So next we're going to pour into a volumetric flask. What kind of volumetric flask? Well, a 250 centimeter cube one, of course. So a 250 centimeter cube volumetric flask. What else do we want to do? Add the washings. Now, what are your washings? Your washings are basically, you might have some salt attached to the glass rod. So what you need to do is rinse the beaker out, wash down the rod and get all of those rinsings or washings into that volumetric flask. So add the washings from rod and beaker and make up, I'm running out of room, to the mark. Now, what do I mean by a make up to the mark? Well, if you check a volumetric flask, it has a little line on it, and that's the mark, right? And what you want to do is you're rinsing all of your glass rod, any bits of salt off the glass rod and the beaker. You want to rinse those in there, and then you want to add in distilled water until you get up to the mark. And you just want to make sure that the meniscus sits on the mark. Okay, so I need to put that down as well. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say as you get close to the mark, use a dropping pipette. Now, a dropping pipette is a little squeezy thing. You used to do like your iodine, your test for starch with iodine and stuff with that little glass thing with a little red squishy bit on top. Use that dropping pipette and make sure the solution sits on the graduation line. So you want it to sit on the line. And what are we talking about? Make sure, I should really say here, the meniscus of the solution, the meniscus, that's a nice A-level word, of the solution sits on the graduation line. And so that's going to get me extra marks. And then there is a final step to this. I'm running out of room. Where am I going to go? I'm going over here, folks, right over to the other side of the page. I know it's all over the place, but that's me. So what I'm going to say here, final bit, is add a stopper, bung, whatever you want to do, put a lid in it, and invert, which means turn upside down, or shake several times or invert until solution is thoroughly mixed. And that's going to get me all the fat 6 marks. I'm just trying to think, have I missed anything out? So calculation's lovely. We've got that all right. And so you're going to probably get 2 marks for your calculation. You worked out the moles there. We worked out the mass. So that's going to give me That there was 25.63 once I did zero point 0.1 times 256.3, which was the MR. Then I've said to weigh out the crystals, use the before and after method, then a balance to 2DP. I've tipped in my solid into the beaker with distilled water. I've stirred it with a glass rod until it all dissolves. I've then added it to the volumetric flask, added my washings and made up to the mark. As you get close to the mark, use a dropping pipette. Make sure the meniscus of the solution sits on the line. Add a stopper and invert, shake to mix thoroughly. That would definitely get you all the marks. If you missed out a couple of those little things like using a dropping pipette there or making sure your scale goes to 2DP, you might still get all 6 marks as long as you included some of the things to make it accurate, like including the washings and things like that. Anyway, you know what to do. Hit the like, sharing's caring, whatever. Messed that one up, didn't I? Rewind. Sharing's caring, hit the like, punch up the bell, subscribe. Let's get to the marks. I'll catch you lot on the next video.
You're still here? It's over.